We will start with our first panel discussion on empowering through knowledge, preparing future-ready banking professionals. Technology and finance are evolving at an unprecedented pace, and so is the need for skilled, adaptable, and knowledgeable individuals. To set the tone for the panel discussion and give some insights on how to build a more resilient and innovative workforce, let me introduce our guest speaker, Mr. Krishan Mishra, CEO, Financial Planning Standards Board, India. Mr. Krishan Mishra is responsible for strategy, operations, and overall market development in India. He has got 20 plus years of versatile experience in strategizing businesses and operations at large in financial services and professional educational space. He is a known leader in the education world and has also been awarded as top 100 global leaders in the field of education by Global Forum of Education and Learning. Over the last 2 decades, he has headed the market development of various top global professional education qualifications in India and various parts of the world. He has been very instrumental in helping them have strong foundation in India and related growth of markets. He grew up in a defense services family and has attended several schools across India before completing his MBA in International Business Studies from IIFT, that is the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, and PGDBM from Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, Ahmedabad. He is also a chartered manager from Chartered Management Institute, UK. Let me call upon Mr. Krishan Mishra to kindly come over to the dais and deliver his guest speech. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Somaya ma'am, for a wonderful introduction. And good morning, everyone. I can see so many friends coming in from various parts of the world. And Edward, it was so good to see you after so many years. Yeah, we used to work together in ACCA. So it's a fantastic occasion. We are going to talk about what is happening around the world and what we can do in this part of the world, which is the Asia Pacific. And recently, I was in a global conference at Brazil, and I could see that a lot is happening around the world to make the financial services and the banking industry grow, and especially through education. Interestingly, I'm lucky enough that I had got an opportunity to work in both the fields. So I practically worked in the insurance companies, managing banks, and later on got into the professional education space. So I have got I would say, the knowledge from both the sides practically, which actually helped me in terms of ensuring that I'm able to talk to people like you who have been working in the industry for the last so many years. Talking about education, yes, education is something which is really very important for all of us, and we know that it plays a very important role in terms of giving us an all-round development. Talking about the banking sector, which is growing very, very fast, and what has happened is, as Soumya ma'am rightly mentioned, that technology is impacting us. Technology, whether we want it or not, it is part of our life, right? Whether you think that, okay, I will not use my mobile phone, there's no other option, you have to do it. You might go for Vipassana and say that I'll keep it for 15 days, but then a lot of things will change within those 15 days. So it is important for you to be abreast with what is happening around you. Second is, obviously, the finance sector in itself is evolving. And the interesting part is that this is the only sector around the world which thrives on people. People are the lifeblood of this business. So we are the lifeblood, and without us, this industry cannot grow. Now, I will make a very, very bold statement today, and this is very important for us to realize that we might be educated, but we are not financially educated, and that's the current situation around the world with a lot of people. Now, when I say financially educated, why we are not financially educated? Because our education systems do not teach us anything related to the personal finance, which is practically related to us. And that's the reason why bankers play a very important role in terms of educating people at large. Because you actually go ahead and talk to them, about their life goals, and how they can actually go ahead and achieve them. And that's the reason why, if you want to teach someone, you need to be educated yourself first. And that's the reason why financial education or professional education plays a very, very important role in terms of making a good career, and not only making a good career, making the lives of people better. Now, we are talking about sustainability here, and I would like to add something on sustainability to all of you. That whenever we talk about sustainability, we talk about green finance and various other things. One of the areas in UN SDGs is about the sustainable finance. And when we say sustainable finance in UN SDGs, it practically talks about the economy's sustainability in terms of finances. Now, when we talk about economic sustainability, interestingly, it's a top-down approach that, okay, the economy becomes sustainable. But what is important for us is to look at a bottoms-up approach, which means that each and every individual in the society needs to be sustainable. If an individual becomes sustainable, it means that the family becomes sustainable. And if the family becomes sustainable, the society automatically becomes sustainable, and the economy will further become sustainable. So it is really very important for us as the part of this banking ecosystem wherein we deal with clients, we talk to them on a daily basis, we try to look at what they can do in their lives, how they can go ahead and achieve them. Professional education plays a very, very important role. Our partners, IIBF, Indian Institute of Banking and Finance, have been doing that for the last 96 plus years. It is really commendable. I think we need to clap for them. They have been creating bankers of tomorrow and future-ready professionals who can actually look forward to making the banking industry thrive. And I'm really proud to see so many people. In the morning we saw all the people are actually the alumni of IIBF, which is really commendable. And that's the way in which this sector is growing. Now, if you get the right education, which is really important, you will be able to manage the clients better. Because what is happening is the regulatory framework is changing, compliances are changing, technology is changing, and learning becomes a very, very important area for all of us. In fact, we spoke about Indians being the youngest in the world with 1.45 billion population. Our average age is somewhere around 28.2. That's the precise average age of this country. And we are moving towards 35 in the next, I would say, 3 to 4 years' time, we might touch 35. And then beyond that also, so we will also age as a country. So we need to keep that in mind, that we are also going to age. What can keep us young is education and learning. If we keep ourselves abreast with what is happening, and keep on learning that through continued professional development, right? So normally what happens is if we have done a graduation or an MBA, right, we just go for an alumni meet and meet our fellow classmates and the other friends who completed the MBA from the college. But when you are in a professional education space, you practically go ahead and upgrade yourself through continued professional development. Now, learning is something which plays a very, very critical role in our lives. And I can tell you that we have to actually learn till the last breath of our life. It doesn't stop. And that's why a lot of people say that continuous learning plays a very, very important role. And for finance people, for bankers, it is actually, Edwin, that we cannot live without learning. If we stop learning, we'll be out of the market. I was addressing a set of auditors a few years back in I would say, a session organized by the Institute of Internal Auditors, IIA, wherein the auditors were worried that what will happen to my job? Technology is coming, AI is coming, bots are coming. What will happen to the auditor's job? And I said that, okay, time has come for you to move from being a post-mortem expert to a wellness expert. So as an auditor, if you become a wellness expert and you're able to tell the organization that, okay, do these things in this way instead of going wrong later, I think organizations would be able to thrive better. And that's the way in which we need to look at our clients, our organizations, and our people. See, attracting talent, retaining talent, and reskilling and upskilling talent plays a very, very important role in the development of the organization. And in fact, I can tell you that there was a survey which happened by the National Career Survey, Government of India. The survey said very clearly, and this data is there on the NCS website, that we created around 46.86 lakh jobs last year in the field of financial services. Out of that, we were able to employ only 27.5 lakh people. Now, 18 lakh plus jobs went vacant. What was the reason? Employment is there, ability is not there. And it is really very important for us to divide the two words. When we talk about employability, that employment is separate, ability is separate. So if you have the right employment available to you and you're not capable or able enough to pick up that, then you are nowhere needed. So it is really very important for us to become able or capable to pick up that job and then remain able to look forward to a greater career in the future. Because people who grow are the ones who are able to keep abreast with the learning and education on a regular basis. You cannot stop it ever in your life, right? And technology, I think everybody spoke about AI. Practically, AI was developed in the year 1956. It's not young. Yeah, it's not very young. It has been there for a good number of years. It has impacted us in a good way. And we need to learn it as a tool for our own benefit. Right? If we learn it as a tool and use it for our benefit, we'll be able to do better. But in case we feel that, okay, it will take away my job or anything will happen, nothing will happen. Only the mundane jobs or the basic jobs will go to AI. Right? And it has already started happening. Because they are the people who can actually do everything for you without taking a coffee break or a tea break or a washroom break. or without asking for a salary hike, right, or maybe a promotion. But then they can give you the data or analysis of what needs to be done by you in a fraction of seconds, because that's the software or the robot all about. But then they will not be able to take the right decisions for us. And that's why, if we have to take the right decisions, we need to keep ourselves into the learning and education mode. We cannot stop it. Whatever age we are, we'll keep ourselves young if we are learning on a regular basis. And somebody said that, yes, learning is important, but what is more important is sometimes unlearn. You have to go ahead and unlearn what you have learned for last so many years. And this is something which came in a survey also recently, that India, as well as a lot of countries in the Asia Pacific, they are looking forward to one basic challenge, that is upskilling the talent. Upskilling talent, reskilling talent, and looking forward to giving them the right education so that they are able to perform their jobs better plays a very, very important role in terms of ensuring that we have the right people who are able to give the right advice and right support to clients at large. And practically all of us, I think we have a very important role to play. Yeah, first we need to learn ourselves and ensure that we are able to educate others. And practically all of us have been doing that for last so many years, right? And we have seen people doing it. But then time has come that, yes, we go ahead and talk to people at large and help them. I can tell you that in our country, in India, a lot of people need help. Whenever I talk to someone, I've seen so many people who are CEOs, CFOs, CHROs. They might be managing their organizations really well in terms of their P&Ls, etc. But if they are not upgrading themselves, if they are not learning something new, they become redundant with time. So it is really very important for them to keep on learning and upgrading themselves. And whatever role you play, whether you are an executive in an organization or you are the top boss, it is really very important for you to ensure that you are learning and you're not stopping learning ever. Right? My friends who will be coming in the panel discussion, they are going to talk about it, but then I will talk about professional education with you right now, which plays a very, very important role. See, education is something which is important for us. Obviously, it prepares us to go ahead and talk to people. But a professional education actually helps you in terms of solving the problems of a lot of people at large. People say that people who invent and discover, people who invent and discover, they are known as scientists. People who are able to make money out of it are the bankers. Yeah, and if you are able to do that, you are the most innovative people in this world. Yeah, money for yourself as well as for the customers, right? So both ends. But then what we say is that yes, for this, again, learning plays a very, very important role. Gone are the days that we can just think about being an employee of an organization. We need to behave more like an entrepreneur nowadays. And it's really very important when you think about yourself as an entrepreneur, and there's a new word which has been coined called entrepreneurship, right? Though you're employed by an organization, you might be working there, getting paid a salary, but then practically what you're doing is that you're behaving like an entrepreneur. And to behave like an entrepreneur, you need to know everything about what is happening around your ecosystem and your organization. Look at our ecosystem. It's ever changing. Every day things change. Compliance has changed, regulations change, technology is changing, right? So many things are changing. And if we are not abreast with that knowledge, if we do not upgrade ourselves, if we are not able to continue education further, we'll be out of the market. So it is really very important for this lifeblood to remain active. And it can happen only when we are educated and we are ensuring that we are able to educate others too. Right? So I will leave it up to the panelists further to discuss it and take it ahead. But then I'm looking forward to a very fruitful day today and looking forward to learning myself and ensuring that I also grow with something more for the day and the future. Right? So looking forward to talking to all of you. All the very best and have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was of very relevant and apt points that you have really touched base on, and you have set the tone for the panel discussion very aptly. I now request our CEO to kindly hand over a memento to our guest speaker.
Wonderful speech. In fact, when you talk of financial literacy, I will add one more word, digital financial literacy, which will be the second topic in our panel discussion. And lot of digital arrests are happening.